Hey, we back. I'm here with Huntbot, and today I'm going to be talking about Huntbot. Here it is, Huntbot, in all its glory. Oh, okay, mine's actually ready. I didn't realise that. Well, an excellent example. This is what Huntbot can do. Now, I mentioned Huntbot briefly in the animals video, but I thought it deserved its own video, how to use it well, how to upgrade it properly, etc. and what it does. Now, as you can see, Huntbot just got me like an entire zoo worth of animals, because mine is quite a high level. Of course, if you level yours up, you can get this as well. So let's have a look at Huntbot, the menu that I was actually wanting originally. Here we go. Huntbot. So we have a few different upgrades here, a bit of information. As the same as Midday and any other reasonable bot, it tells you how to use it in the text. Feel free to read the text. So we have Auto Hunt, which can, as you see, be shortened to HB, short for Huntbot, and probably AH as well, short for Auto Hunt. Pretty sure it can do that. You can use Upgrade and then Trait to upgrade the traits below. To obtain more efforts, use Sacrifice, Animal, Count. You can also not do Count and do All, or you can just do All instead of Animal and sacrifice everything. Now, sacrificing animals is probably what you want to be doing. As I mentioned before, you can also sell animals for money, which is something that I do, but sacrificing them for essence is probably smarter because in the long run, you'll actually get more money anyway. This is going to be your main source of income later on, unless you start paying or winning the lottery or whatever, you know. This is probably where you get your money. Now, it costs, with my Huntbot anyway, almost 30,000 currency to... you know, set it off. But as you can see, it gets me a lot of animals back, and this is worth more than 30,000. I mean, legendaries alone. How much are legendaries worth? Let's check. I think they're worth 10,000 each, though. Yeah, there you go. 15,000 even. And 10,000 points, 10,000 essence. They're actually worth 15,000 money. And I got 3 of them, so just the legendaries alone is worth 45,000, which is more than I spent setting it off. So you are going to gain money by using this. As long as your cost is low, of course. Otherwise, it cost me double the amount and harder to make money. So that's one of the first things to mention. You want to get your cost down, otherwise you're not actually making money by using it. This won't take long. At the start, the cost looks like it costs a lot of essence to level up. I believe the starting costs of all of these is like 10, and then the cost of currency is like 10,000. It's something like that, but trust me, it will get a lot higher. As you can see, to level up my experience now, which is probably the cheapest on there, is considerably more than 10,000. So you should be maxing out your cost reasonably early on. And that's what you want to concentrate on. Of course, first, you have to max out other stuff. Well, not max it out, you have to upgrade other stuff. And then you can start maxing out cost and then go back to the other stuff. So that leads us on nicely. What order should you upgrade stuff in? You want to get your duration up first, probably. Note that every time you upgrade your duration, you get extra efficiency and extra gain. Not literally, but as in you will get more essence every time you set it off, and you will get more animals every time you set it off, because that's how duration works, right? So as long as duration isn't costing double what these are, you probably want to level up duration. Of course, if duration does cost double what these are, you can just buy efficiency and gain together, and that's going to be better than one duration upgrade, because while the benefit is the same, you actually spend less time on the Huntbot. So that makes sense. Of course, it's all rough calculations anyway, because realistically the ratio is going to be different. If this is a really high level and these aren't, then you want to be leveling these up. But yes, these three are the main ones you want to go for. Efficiency and gain are about as important as each other. Duration, mind, is only important as long as you can set it off for the whole day. If your duration is only 1 hour, you're going to want to be upgrading it a lot, because you don't want to be here every hour setting off your Huntbot, and you can't do it while you're sleeping. But for the rest of the time, you know, sure, if you really want, you can. But it's better to upgrade it. Say you get it up to, say, I don't know, 10 hours. 10 hours is quite a nice one. I left mine at 10 hours for quite a long time, because at 10 hours you can set it off in the morning, and then you can wait until it's maybe the evening and set it off again, and then when you wake up in the morning the next day, it's only recently finished. Ish, you know. Technically, of course, you'd want 12 hours, but then I like having a couple of hours spare in case maybe I wake up earlier the next day or something like that, you know. And that's all down to you. But yes, probably leaving this at about 10 or 11 hours, something like that is quite nice. And then you want to be upgrading these two. Getting more essence without having to sacrifice animals, and just getting more animals so that you can sacrifice. Or sell if you really want. Now you are going to be wanting to get as much essence as possible at the start anyway, so sacrificing your animals is probably the way to go. I've shown this off before, and the command is right here, so it's fairly simple. But yeah, you can just sacrifice your animals, you'll get a fair amount of essence, and as you can see, the amount of essence that you get is pretty similar to the money. It's a little bit less, and in fact I think this ratio applies to all of them, you know, it's about the money is about 50% more than the essence. So there you go. In terms of upgrading, as you can see, upgrade traits. So for example, I can do upgrade XP. I can take this number here to make sure it's exact, and there you go, upgraded. You don't have to use the same number, you can have it halfway through a level, but of course it's more efficient if you level them up exactly, so that's what I always do. And then, you know, I can take this number here, and I can upgrade my XP again, and I could just keep going with this. In fact, to be honest, I probably should, because I actually have a lot of essence. I didn't realise I had that much. I can get quite a few XPs. And of course, XP, good for leveling up your animals, and this is a very good source of it, so, you know. This is a very good source of everything, mind. You get loads of animals, which means loads of money, or loads of essence. You get loads of, well, loads of essence again, loads of XP, you know, it's great. And of course, you need it to get your bot animals with the radar. This is what radar says. We haven't touched on this yet, but yes, radar. You probably don't want to be leveling this up until you've got everything else up. I leveled mine up stupidly early, and it was really silly of me, and I wasted a bunch of essence, but I've said a million times before, I'm normally not optimal on this bot. It's just a bit of a laugh. But yes, radar you probably don't want to be upgrading because the percentage chance is so small anyway, and it really starts costing a lot of essence. But this gives you a chance of getting the bot animals, which I have a couple of because I do have a radar. Giraffe bot and sloth bot are the ones that I've got. I got duplicate on giraffe bot, so that's fun. But yes, that's how you get those. You need to have your radar high level. But as you can see, the percentage chance is so small anyway that radar doesn't become that important. Cost is what you really want to be going for because that saves you a lot of money. And then, like I say, it's these three. XP, of course, is nice. It does what it says on the tin. You know, it gets you XP for your animals. You can do well in battling. If that's what you care about, then go ahead for XP. But the XP doesn't actually help you gain more Huntbot. It doesn't get you essence. It doesn't get you money. It doesn't get you animals. You know. Nothing like that. So realistically, the XP doesn't actually help you improve the bot in the future. So normally it's advised that you upgrade XP last. Well, other than radar, of course. I don't even know if radar has a limit. Radar probably does, to be fair, but I don't know anyone that's hit it. Anyway, yeah, radar just is expensive. You won't be maxing this out. So of the other ones, go for XP last probably. But of course, if you really want the XP a little bit faster, then you can go for that. If you think the other stuff isn't as good for you. So yeah, a tip that I mentioned before, by the way, if you do want to make sure that you're hitting your Huntbot on time, I can say, for example, let's run this command again and check exactly when it is. 23 hours and 52 minutes. I can use Tatsumaki here. Set up a little reminder. There you go. That's going to remind me when my Huntbot's done. I don't do this every day, but I do it a lot of days. So, well, I didn't do it today. That's why I didn't realise that my Huntbot was ready when I ran the command up here. But I do this a lot of days. It helps me make sure that I'm on point with using it as efficiently as possible. So that's good. And yeah, you by the way, you can put whatever number you like in here. Obviously, I put, you know, 100,000 pretty much. It's just faster to type, you know, and it just puts the maximum in. So just throw whatever number you like in here, and it'll always put the maximum that you can put. However, if you put too many digits here, so that you haven't got enough money for it checks that first. Clearly, the code checks that first, so that is a little annoying. It will tell you that you haven't got enough money to pull all of that into your Huntbot, even though you're assuming it'll put the whatever, the 28k here. So that's a little weird, but yeah, just throw in a large number here, it's a bit easier. And another pointer with it is that, as you can see here, you don't have to put the same number. This is just an arbitrary number to get your password, so you can make this short. It's a bit easier to type, a bit quicker. And then this is the number that matters, you know. So this is what I do 9 and then a bunch of 9s. Like I say, it's just a little faster to type when it's all the same number like that. But realistically, it doesn't make any difference. So there you go. That's generally what it's good for. And yeah, you really do want to be using your Huntbot as much as possible, because it is just a lot of free animals. It's a lot of free animals. Yeah, okay, mine's like pretty much fully upgraded in terms of animals, but that's a lot of animals, you know. So it's good. It really is good, and you should try and use it as much as possible. However, I think I've said pretty much everything there is to say about it. One thing that you can mention actually is that there is a leaderboard for it. If we go in here, there you go, which shows how much essence you've got. And of course there's a global leaderboard as well, so you can do that if it's going to load. And another small detail as well is this little symbol. Mine's mythic. You can upgrade this by simply having more essence. It shows what percentage of players you're in. So, you know, I'm like 2,500. I don't know if that's in like the top 1% or something like that. I don't know, maybe top 5%. And so that gives me the mythic one. Like I said, my Huntbot isn't great because I'm very inefficient with it. I have been playing long enough that I probably should be a lot higher up than that. But whatever. As you can see, some people have a hell of a lot of essence. They're probably putting a lot of time into the bot. But yeah, there's a little graph, not a graph, like a table of how much essence you need, what top percent you need to be in to get these little symbols. Of course, there is a legendary one above mythic, and I assume Vishaka in first here probably has fabled. That's what I'm assuming, but I don't know. I don't know for sure. Anyway, I've got mythic, so there we go. You'll probably have something else, you know? You might have mythic, I don't know. But yes, there we go. I think that's a couple of small details worth mentioning, but realistically they make no difference. So yeah, I end this one here. Bye!